Welcome to my channel. The 2023 presidential election is likely to be a two-horse race in the end. A race between the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi. And this issue has led to comparison between the two candidates, especially in their role as governors of their various states. And people have tried to compare Anambra State under Peter Obi and Lagos State under Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And sometimes they even overlooked, they look at Anambra State as a whole and Lagos as a whole when they are doing their comparison. If you remember the speech at the Nigerian Bar Association conference by the vice presidential candidate of APC, Shetima, he take a jab at Mr. Peter Obi. He said that Mr. Peter Obi is living in calls Lagos home and not Oka, the capital of Anambra State. And not many people take note of that, but I took note of it. But nobody lives in Lagos at the pleasure of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who himself is from Osun State and migrated to Lagos like so many other Nigerians did because of the advantages inherent in Lagos. Let's face the fact. Lagos is the capital of Nigeria was the capital of Nigeria for a long time. In fact, Lagos became the capital of Nigeria in 1914. That was when it became the capital of Nigeria. If you go to Lagos, the imprint of all the years that they have been capital, the imprint of all the Nigerian leaders, both the colonial masters, the Brazilians, and everybody else, are all there in Lagos. Don't forget, this is the same Lagos that in 1948, Dr. Anambra State was elected into the Lagos Legislative Council. Where was Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu if he was born by then? So Lagos had always been like New York City, United States, which is, they call it the Big Apple, made up of people from diverse communities, ethnicities, and all what have you. But Lagos is particularly special because it has been the capital of Nigeria for a very long time, until around 1992-93, when Sani Abacha put his foot down that all the ministries and parastatals, federal ministries and parastatals that were based in Lagos, that have been reluctant to move to Abuja, the new federal capital, that they will lose their job if they don't move. That was how some people who were reluctant were forced to move, and Abuja became what it is today. So most of the infrastructures you see in Lagos are the product of all these years of being the capital of Nigeria, and then the advantages that it enjoys. Lagos is where you have all the major ports in Nigeria that federal government approve for so many things. For whatever reason, the federal government of Nigeria does not want eastern ports to be well utilized. Like Calabar Port is underutilized, Port Harcourt Port is underutilized, Sapele Port, Warri Ports. So they force everybody literally to be using Lagos Port. Now that has caused Lagos to become hub of commercial activities at the expense of other cities. So when you see so many people from Southeast living in Lagos, it's not because there's anything they are benefiting from being in Lagos, except the opportunity that was created deliberately by federal government for whatever reason. In this country right now, you cannot import pharmaceuticals from Port Harcourt Port, from Calabar Port, or from Sapele Port, or from Warri Port. All the pharmaceuticals are imported from Lagos. So this has given Lagos undue advantage. Even motor spare parts, you are not allowed to import it from Port Harcourt, from Calabar, because if they were motor spare part dealers were allowed to import from Calabar, from Port Harcourt, electronics importers, they will have no business being based in Lagos. Okay? You find out that major business people from Southeast we are forced to live in Lagos because Lagos port is the port that works. And that has given Lagos the advantage of revenue generation more than any other state in the country. Look at the oil companies in Nigeria. The oil companies in Nigeria that are supposed to make their headquarters in the Niger Delta, they made their headquarters in Lagos. If you ask them, they say it's because of insecurity in Niger Delta. Who is benefiting by the headquarters of multinational oil companies being in Lagos? It is the Lagosians, because that's where they now pay revenue. In fact, it will shock you that many Niger Deltans cannot get job in big oil companies without going to Lagos for interview. That is why you see a preponderance of people of living within Lagos and environment, working in major oil company at the expense of where the oil deposits are domiciled in Niger Delta. So because of this advantage that Lagos enjoys, both being the capital, being the center of the commercial activity in terms of ports activities, so Lagos have had a lot of advantage. If you study the geography of rail lines in Nigeria, you find out that the geography of rail lines in Nigeria by the Europeans, you see the ports terminating Lagos Port and Port Harcourt Port. Because all the raw materials that are coming from the hinterlands are supposed to be exported from Lagos. Imports coming inside comes from Lagos. So this has given Lagos an uncommon advantage. Therefore, anybody running Lagos is therefore running with huge advantage than any other state. And it's also easy to be seen as a performer in Lagos because everything is there for you. And the media can easily be on your palms. Most of the major newspapers houses in Nigeria are domiciled in Lagos. So you find out that they tend to overpraise Lagos governors because some of these media organizations have been bought over by whoever is Lagos governor. That is why you hardly hear that any Lagos governor did not perform. From Otedola to Jakonde to what have you, they're always praising them as uncommon performers, as stars, because they used to take care of the media people in Lagos. That is the gospel truth. So even their shortcomings are covered up. Even if you look at the antecedent of Tinubu, his certificate scandal and everything, there was a lot of cover-up by media in Lagos. That's why today you hardly hear about it. Many of the papers that were even pushing it to investigate certificates of Tinubu right from 1999, they have all gone cold. They have all been bought over. So it is easy to be seen as a star in Lagos. Even during the military dictatorship, do you know that Buba Marwa, as governor of Lagos, despite all the hates the Lagos press had against Sani Abacha, they were praising Buba Marwa to high heavens as a performer. Till today, you hear about Marwa Keke, Marwa this, Marwa that in Lagos. That is how it is. The media in Lagos overhype whoever is the governor of Lagos so that they can also get a piece of the pie. So that is very clear. So it is easier for media to promote Tinubu as a star. It is easier for the media to cover up his corruption allegations. So that is a gospel truth that people have to take into consideration when they are looking at the issue of Tinubu's performance in Lagos. The media is always praising governors in Lagos State. It's always praising governors in Lagos State. So that is one of the things that people should take note of when they are looking at the issue of performance of Tinubu. It is to the fact that Tinubu is a beneficiary of a favorable media. Is a beneficiary of a favorable media. And the economy of Nigeria being centered in Lagos has favored Lagos. So if really Tinubu is a star, Lagos should be competing with Dubai. Lagos should be competing with United Arab Emirates because of the kind of advantage it enjoys. But you and I know that Lagos is not like that. Lagos have been under Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu since 1999. Yet, Lagos have been ranked the most hostile city to live in the world. Lagos is also a city that it is the most indebted state in Nigeria after the federal government. And this indebtedness is a culture that have been there right from Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Because Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as I keep telling people, has remained the de facto governor of Lagos State till date. Because he is the person that handpicks whoever becomes governor. And they are governors only at his mercy, only at his pleasure. So therefore, it is unfair to use Tinubu's Lagos to compare what Obi did in Anambra. But I will get to that about what Obi did in Anambra differently from what Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu did. Okay? Now, Lagos, as I told you, has not been able to develop as fast as it should, given the amount of money that he collects from federal government, given the amount of money that he generates, given its geography as the major seaports of Nigeria that is favored by federal government. If you notice what I told you earlier on, the other ports in Nigeria are underutilized at the expense of Lagos. At the benefit of Lagos, sorry. Yes. So all the things that could have gone to Port Harcourt, to Calabar Port, to Sapele Port, to Warri Port, they are all being for Lagos. And Lagos is making huge amount of money. But it has not reflected in Lagos being a city, a livable city. It is one of the most unlivable cities in the world. You can go and Google it. Just type Lagos on Google as one of the worst cities to live on in the world. You see it will come out. You see several ratings around the world. So that's how bad it is. So that's why it's also laughable when you hear people believing Tinubu and Shetima when they say they will replicate Lagos all over the country. There's nothing in Lagos to be replicated. Lagos is already like Nigeria in terms of living beyond its means. Lagos, they used to tout the fact that they have increased the revenue of Lagos, but they are not living within the revenue. They keep on borrowing. That is why Lagos is the most indebted state in Nigeria. Its debt is only lower than that of the federal government. So is that what they want to come and what they want to come and implement nationwide to increase the kind of indebtedness that Lagos is known for? So that is the legacy of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and a legacy of rent taking. so many people are being, are being paid for doing nothing in Lagos just because they are politically connected. Godfatherism is the order of the day. Is that what you are comparing with Anambra State? So first, if you want to compare Anambra State, you look at the history of Anambra State first. Now, before I go to the history of Anambra State and what peterobi did there, if you are new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel, anytime I have a new video, you will be among the first to know. God bless you. Anambra was created in 1991. In the August of that year, Awka became the capital. Awka was just like a small organic town. So how do you begin to compare Awka's development with Lagos? Lagos that have been there for a very long time. Lagos have been existing as a colonial settlement even before it became the capital in 1914. So when Peter Obi became governor in 2003, he inherited a state without even a well-developed government house, without a well-developed State House of Assembly structure and all that. The state was indebted, hugely indebted. Teachers were owed salaries. Other civil servants were owed salaries. The state was paralyzed by the People's Democratic Party who were in charge. And the certain godfather, Asiwaju Oba, one of the Oba family members that eventually kidnapped the incumbent governor at the time. That's the present Minister of Labour, Ngige, when he was governor. Who is related to one of the aides of President Olusegun Obasanjo, Andy Oba. So it was a state that was in total disarray, crippled by godfatherism. Even when Peter Obi was declared the winner, you see there was a rampage by these godfathers, destroying government properties and institutions. So Peter Obi started from ground zero, but he was able to do a lot. He was able to pay all the debts that Anambra State was owing. He was able to clear the teacher salaries. He was able to move the states that its education was at its lowest ebb to number one in education in Nigeria. He was able to bring big-time industries, pharmaceutical companies, brewery companies. So when you see Peter Obi talk about moving from consumption to production, he has practicalized it in Anambra State. He was the person that made the nursing motors what it is today by giving huge contracts to the company to build over 1,000 vehicles for use in Anambra State schools and officials. He was the person that showed that innocent could be patronized by government. He did all this to galvanize the economy of Anambra State. And look at what he achieved. By the time he was leaving, Anambra was the least indebted state in Nigeria. He did so many things without borrowing money from anywhere. And he left behind a surplus of over 75 billion naira. And he left about $156 million for which he had hoped to transform SMEs in Anambra State. The way that the Chinese were able to do it in China. And he did not give himself humongous retirement benefits. As I speak to you now, if Peter Obi is the only former governor that does not enjoy pension. He didn't sign any humongous retirement benefit for himself, unlike Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Go and look at how much Tinubu signed, because that's the Lagos pension law for ex-governors was the hard work of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, where they build houses for them. Every 3 years they change vehicles for them. Despite the fact that today Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu claimed to be richer than Osun State, yet he's still collecting all those pension largesse. Yet there is no single house, either in Abuja or Oka or Lagos, which Anambra State government has given to Peter Obi or that he enjoys. Unlike other former governors, be it Akpabio, be it Chibike Amechi, all of them, all over the country, they are enjoying stupendous pension largesse under the pension laws they wrote by themselves and sent to the rubber stamp State House of Assemblies. So if Peter Obi could be able to manage the resources of Anambra State, which is a state that is receiving one of the least allocations in this country, and he was able to left it debt-free with surplus, how can you compare him with a state like Lagos State, with the humongous advantages enjoyed by federal presence, the humongous allocation they collect from federal allocation, and from the humongous revenues he gets from several oil companies and multinational companies that are domiciled there by accident of geography. Yet, Lagos is the most indebted state in Nigeria. Lagos is not working. Lagos is the most terrible place to live in, city to live in the world. And so you go and Google it. Maybe I will have to put some of the ratings of Lagos around the world by rating agencies. I will put it at the bottom of this video so that you go and verify. So much for how much Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has done Lagos that he have to replicate it nationwide. If Lagos resources have been well utilized, if Lagos had had a prudent manager like Peter Obi for 8 years, Lagos would have been more than Dubai. I can tell you for free. Because of the prudent way he will manage the resources. And there would have been no godfatherism in Lagos. Because Peter Obi, unlike Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, don't believe in godfatherism. He believes that he has done his own part. The other person should come and follow the right path. But that's not the way Tinubu operates. Tinubu is the one that determines who becomes governor and what the person will pursue as governor, and whether the person will get second term or not. So comparing Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Peter Obi is a no-brainer. Peter Obi is far ahead in his management of the resources. Because Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu left huge debt for Lagos in 2007, and Lagos is still battling with debt, even when they claim they have generated more money through internal revenue. But they are not, they are living beyond their means, and they are borrowing unsustainably. Of course, they can claim that they borrow in a sustainable way, because they keep on borrowing, even as I speak with you. So there is no two ways about it. Peter Obi have shown excellence in management of resources, and he has shown that he's a leader that will not steal your money. He will not steal Nigeria's money, just as he didn't steal Anambra's money. He will never steal Nigeria's money. But there are so many allegations about Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which is out there in the public. I don't want to rehearse this here anymore. You can Google it. You can go to what this man, what's his name, former chieftain of, former national chairman, southwest of PDP, Bode George. He has several documents he has been parading everywhere of what Tinubu had done in Lagos in terms of allegations of corruption. David Hundiyin, an independent journalist, has done a lot of investigative reports, which I have shared in some of my videos, the link, so anybody can go and read about allegations of corruption against Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So the choice is left for Nigerians. If they want this old order to continue, where government is run in an opaque way, or they want the transparency of peterobi, the ball is in the court of Nigerians. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you.